Hello, hi, welcome back to the vlog. If you've not been here before, hello, my name is Fiona. I'm an artist and illustrator living in the city of Edinburgh in Scotland, and this channel is my place for me to share my sketchbooks, fun little drawing trips around the city, talking about art supplies, all that good stuff. This time of year, late November, early December, is always really busy for me. This weekend I have Glasgow Craft and Flea, which is an art market, so I need to do some prep for that, and I'll be bringing you along with me to Glasgow this weekend. And my Etsy shop sales are really starting to ramp up at this point because of everyone doing their Christmas shopping, so that's really exciting as well. I need to get through a stack of those later on today. And I also have some other big Christmas markets coming up over the next couple of weeks that I'm starting to think ahead to. In amongst all of that, I still don't want my sketchbooking practice to fall by the wayside. Although I talk a lot about the importance of sketchbooking and how it's the foundation and the cornerstone of art for me, it's also one of the things that is just first to go on the chopping block whenever I get remotely busy. Like, if I've got 5 things on the to-do list to do and 4 of them are deadlines that have to be done, and the 5th one is, oh, spend some time in your sketchbook, what's going to happen in reality is I'm going to get through those 4 things and I'm not going to get time to do the sketchbook. Which, I mean, makes a lot of sense on a day-to-day basis. You got to do what you got to do, but it means that over the course of weeks and months, sometimes really long stretches of time happen where I'm just not making the time to kind of have that creative play time in the sketchbook. And what ends up happening is I feel really sort of creatively drained over time, and I feel like I don't have any ideas, and I'm getting a lot of stuff done on the to-do list, but there's no more sort of fuel behind those things. Because for me, sketchbooking is really where the fun ideas come out. It's where the inspiration is for me. So I went on to Artists Academy for some sketchbooking inspiration, and they are the sponsors of this video. Thank you so much, Artists Academy. So Artists Academy is your online go-to resource for all things drawing and painting. So they have visual art lessons, guides, tutorials. You can find everything you need to improve your artistic skills, from basic instruction all the way up to advanced techniques. They're constantly adding new stuff. They've got lessons and classes about lots of different aspects of art, like watercolours, urban sketching, character design, all that kind of thing. But this one that caught my eye today was this one. It was called Inspiration and Motivation by Stuart Loffridge. He talks a lot about the concept of thinking on paper. As in, instead of thinking of an illustration idea first and then sitting down to draw it, instead just start drawing and let the act of drawing be a method of thinking. Letting the line of the pencil do what it wants to do and surprise you. And I really like that idea, and I kept that in mind while doing the little drawing session that I'll show you next in the video after this. I also really liked this one called Making Drawing a Daily Practice by Patricia Watwood. It's about prioritizing drawing in your life by physically making space and time for it in your life, and making a point of carving out the time for it in a specific way. Like, tomorrow morning I will put my phone on Do Not Disturb and draw for 20 minutes before work. I just think that's such a great philosophy and an approach that I'm really trying to keep in mind. She also gives some ideas about what to do if you sit down to draw and you just freeze up in front of the page. Yeah, I find it really helpful. So if you go to the link in the description, you can get your first full year of Artists Academy Premium for just $1.49. Offer valid for new members only, and thank you again to Artists Academy for sponsoring this video and working with me. Now let's get started on the week. Let's go do some drawing. A go-to drawing for me is always a dragon. I draw them a lot, and the way I draw them, it always changes, but they're generally quite Eastern inspired dragons, like inspired by things like Haku from Spirited Away or the dragons from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That's vaguely the direction I was going here, but also I kind of had nothing at all in mind. It wasn't really meant to look like anything in particular. I was really trying to do the thinking on paper, making it up as I went along type of thing. Sometimes it feels like being able to draw well from observation and being able to come up with interesting, imaginative illustration ideas are just 2 separate skill sets. I know they feed into each other, and you do need to be able to do one well in order to do the other, but sometimes it feels like no problem at all to just sit and urban sketch a detailed castle for like an hour, but the idea of coming up with an imaginary creature sounds really daunting, I don't know. But I think it has something to do with trusting yourself and having confidence in your own ideas, because When you're observational drawing, it's like you're putting the trust for the beauty of the drawing onto that external thing that you're looking at. As in, the castle's beautiful, and therefore if I draw it well, the drawing will be beautiful. Of course, it takes a lot of skill and creativity to be able to do justice to a beautiful subject, but you know, I don't want to downplay that, but a little bit of the work has already been done. You don't need to decide how many windows the building has or come up with what clothes your subject is wearing. You can just use what you see. Whereas when you're drawing from your imagination, it's all on you. You're coming up with everything. In some ways, I think coming up with, for example, I don't know, a really good cartoon character design can be more difficult in some ways than drawing a realistic portrait of someone. For me, anyway. And then the flip side of that is obviously, if you're drawing something observationally and you get it wrong, it's a lot more obvious because the subject matter is right there and it looks different. There's much less room for mistakes if you're drawing a realistic, recognisable portrait or something like that. Whereas mistakes like that are much less obvious when you're drawing from your imagination. I like drawing dragons, and I always say that the good thing about drawing dragons is that there's no one set established idea of what they look like, so you can't get it wrong. Legs, no legs, wings, tusks, horns, you can do whatever. So it's not really like one thing is objectively easier than the other. It's just good to practice both. Practice the observational drawing and the completely from imagination drawing. And I do see them as very different creative muscles. I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about today. Anyway, here is my thinking on paper drawing that I made up as I went along. I think it turned out cute and it felt good to just draw for the sake of drawing, especially in the middle of a busy week. I'm glad I carved out time to do it. Okay, let's get some Etsy orders shipped out. I don't know how many I'm going to get through right now, sitting here, but we'll try and make a dent. First up, this person has ordered frog sticker and zine. Sorry about this bit of tripod that's in frame here. I am unprofessional, if you hadn't figured that out yet. One of them, not one of them. I'm really grateful to anyone who does choose to make an order from my shop to support my shop. Even though I've been doing this for years, it's still exciting. Every single time, you know, I get the email that orders come in, I always like, oh, and I check it straight away and I have a look. And yeah, I feel grateful every time, so thank you so much. I enjoy the process of packaging orders as well. It kind of reminds me of wrapping Christmas presents, which is another thing I really like to do. Stick. Oh well, it'll be flat in the envelope. So this one is going off to Glasgow. If anyone's clocked my dressing gown sleeves here, I'm so cold today. I know I always complain about this in my videos, but our flat really is very cold. Obviously it's getting into winter now, and the building we live in, it's an old Victorian building, and it's just really difficult to heat. Like, the ceilings are really high, the radiators are ancient. So generally our routine is the dog sleeps in the kitchen overnight, and I don't know, we used to let him roam the flat and sleep wherever he wanted, and he was generally pretty good. Like, he would lie on the sofa or he would get on the bed with us, and he didn't do anything wrong or naughty per se. It was just the fact that he didn't just get his head down and go to sleep. He would, at sort of like 4 or 5 a.m, he would get up and he would just start roaming the flat and just start doing stuff. Nothing naughty, but it just made a noise. We've got wooden floors, and although it might not sound like anything, a dog walking his claws on wooden floors at like 3-4 a.m, like, it's so loud, it's absolutely deafening, and we just weren't sleeping, so we've had to kind of shut him in his bed in one room, which he's fine with as well. I mean, I think he would rather get in the bed with us, but we gotta sleep, you know. But recently the dog's been waking up in the night and scratching at the kitchen door to get out, and you know, when we wake up and we let him out the kitchen, he runs and he jumps straight in the bed with us. And you know what, I think he's just been cold, and it's made me feel really bad. It's made me feel really guilty. I think the dog's been just lying there cold in the night on the kitchen, wanting to jump in the bed with us. So yeah, the other night we just let him get in the bed with us, and more recently we're putting a space heater on for him. out of reach where he can't get to it, but it'll warm up the kitchen. But yeah, basically I am cold and a little bit sleep deprived as well, so. I have also considered putting the dog to bed wearing one of his jumpers. I don't know, I'm just a little bit paranoid about that. I mean, what if he gets tangled in it, and I don't know, what if he like chokes himself or something? Or even what if he just gets a claw caught in it and then he's uncomfortable overnight? So I don't know, I'm not really sure what to do about that. But yeah, the space heater seems to be working anyway. Right, so this is some stickers and it is going to the US. Oh, I have reopened US shipping, by the way, if you hadn't noticed that, or if you hadn't seen my comments about it. I think I figured out how to get the sort of tariff stuff prepaid. I have had to increase shipping to the US just to cover the cost, which is a shame. I'm not making any extra money off of the increased shipping costs. They've just gone into the cost of the lovely tariffs, which we're all a big fan of. But yeah, it is good to be able to ship to the US again, because I was getting lots of messages from people asking to buy things, and I had to keep being like, no, sorry, I can't. I wish I could send you it, but I can't. It's that door is open again, thankfully. Just in time for Christmas, which is good. Orders made now should arrive well in time for Christmas if you're in the US. Because I know stuff like the little like pin badges and stuff I make, they're good, sort of Christmas present sized. On saying that, it is making me feel slightly guilty seeing all of these orders come in that I suspect are Christmas presents, because I have not started my Christmas shopping yet. I find it really difficult. I find it really stressful every year. Just because I feel like gifts matter a lot, you know? I really want the presents I get for people to mean something and to show them that I know them and I get them. I don't know, I put a lot of pressure on it. This person is getting one of the artistic license stickers. These are one of my most recent ones. I think they're really fun. I debated whether to do British or American spelling of license, but I made these during the tariff drama, so I thought, you know what I mean? I didn't even know if I would be able to sell them to American people, so it is the British spelling of license. You got a license, so those, and I'll chuck a business card in. What's the weather like where you guys are? Has it snowed yet this year? It hasn't quite snowed here yet. I know it's snowed quite a bit in the countryside, but obviously we're in a city centre, so it doesn't snow so much here. It does sometimes. However, it has been really icy. And I take the dog out for his morning walks and slipping and sliding. It's currently -1 right now, so. Okay, and this is slightly more 3D, so this doesn't go in an envelope, this goes in one of these snazzy boxes. Next one, this person's getting a zine and some washi tape. So Japan zine and 2 sushi washi, a very Japan themed order. Let's check in the business card. See my business card, by the way? It's me and Rollo. He's helping. I need to get new business cards actually, because I want to put my YouTube on here. And also this is kind of an old drawing. This is to keep it safe in transit, but also because it pleases me to have everything nicely wrapped. And that one's going to Dundee. Go to Scotland today. Okay, so this next one, this person is getting a mystery misprint mix-up bag. I'm gonna have to do the big A4. I will assemble this off camera because I'm just gonna whack the camera with it. But yeah, so my misprint bags, a lot of them are lino prints. Some of them are more sort of digital prints that have just not come out quite right, or risograph prints that have got like a corner with a blotch of ink in. They're just prints that I would still put them up on my wall. That's kind of my rule of thumb for them, is would I be happy putting this on my own wall? Yes. Would I be happy selling it for full price? No. that bracket is the misprints. So yeah, they're just like a much cheaper way to get some art prints really. So they're £10 for a bag and there's at least 3 prints in there. Whereas prints, full price prints, they usually sell for at least £10 individually. So it's a good deal really. Sometimes there's more than 3 things in there. Sometimes there's stickers. Sometimes there's things that aren't even B grade prints at all. They're you know, fully decent prints. They're just ones that I've retired from my shop. So yeah, that's what the misprint bags are. Getting one of them. This person's also ordered stickers and washi tape, forest mushrooms washi, and a little D&D cat wizard. It's great seeing people liking the D&D stickers. I'm really happy with that because yeah, I wasn't sure how well they would do because, you know, I know not everyone plays D&D, but to see them doing so well, it makes me happy. There's been quite a few of those sold. That's my little logo sticker. I'm thinking of getting this design made into a stamp. You know how you can get those custom stamps that have got their own ink pad? Because then I could stamp it on the outside of orders as well, on the cardboard, and that would be cute maybe. Now, is that gonna rattle around too much? Oh, that's fine. I will print postage labels for all of these off camera so I don't mass dox my customers. Okay, so this person is getting a ship in the bottle enamel pin. There we go. And this person is getting one of each of our D&D cat stickers. Thank you so much. All right, that's not all of the orders, but I'm going to draw a line there. There's a few left, but they have just come in today, so I'm going to do those tomorrow, I think, just because I need to get on with some other stuff right now. Has someone been waking up in the night and walking around the flat loudly? Was it you? Was it you? I'm sorry you were cold, darling. I'm sorry. You're like a boy. He really loves getting his ears scratched. And if you pet him at all, he always tries to turn it into like a weird ear thing. Like, I don't want to put my finger in your ear, bro. Right, next thing on the to-do list is preparing for Glasgow Craft and Flea, which is tomorrow. So I've not done a fair in a little while. I've got to go through all of stock and everything, make sure I've got enough prints packaged up. I just want everything like packaged and set up today and everything. Please excuse the general state of this room. It's actually much worse than you can see from your line of vision. There's stock all over the floor. I've got my big crate of tote bags here. I've got some green cards. I've got a new order of pin badges here, just literally sitting on the floor there. Because I mean, this is where I keep pin badges. They live in all these drawers, but these are literally full. I always do this. I order stock without a plan of where I'm actually going to keep it in between, you know, markets and Etsy sales and stuff. So I definitely need to think about storage in here a little bit more. I've been thinking, because it's a small room, but it's also really high ceilinged, I'm thinking of just putting some really high shelves up, even just totally out of reach, you know, things that I can maybe only reach by standing on a chair, but at least I can have like storage boxes up high. That would maybe help. I don't know. But that is not the job for today. Today, yes, preparing for Glasgow. Okay. Let's see what prints I've got ready to go. The general system is pin badges, zines, washi tape. This is stickers, prints, and some other bits and bobs of fair stuff, like lights and that kind of thing. And then under here in boxes, it's just like overflow. It's more prints. And then literally all over the floor is everything that doesn't fit into that system. So, I don't know. Sometimes I toy with the idea of having studio space one day, but I can't really justify it at the minute. But that'd be cool to just have a workplace where all this stuff is stored. Maybe one day in the future. Right, okay. Should we take? Already got quite a few of the lino print mice ready. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, six of those is good. The crows, the ink crows, I've got 5 of those packaged. Ooh. It's always so hard judging what you're actually going to sell. I don't want to take way more than I need because then my suitcase is going to be really heavy for dragging on and off trains around Glasgow. But at the same time, if I run out of something, that just makes me think for the rest of the day, I could have sold another one, I could have made more money. So I don't know. I've got 5 of these. I might package a 6th. Yeah, okay. Just the one swallow, that's fine. 2 sunflowers, I think that's fine. The Dalmatians, I don't sell a huge amount of these, the risograph, which I think is a shame. I think he's cute. And I really enjoy the layering of the fluorescent risograph inks over the top of. And these are also printed on paper made from recycled coffee cups, which I think is cool. But these never sell that well, so I'll not take too many of those. Maybe 2. These normally do pretty good. This is a sketch I made on location in Kamakura when I was in Japan earlier this year. It's actually just 2 pages of a sketchbook that I've edited together and made into a little print, but that normally does fairly well. I'll take maybe 4 of those. I'll take 2 of these. This is my Prismacolor colour pencil Celestial Fox 4. These dragons always do well. I'll take probably, I'm going to say at least 8 of these dragons. This is all stuff that's pre-packaged and left over from previous markets and stuff. Right, okay. At least 1 more crow. I'm going to do another 5 dragons. And I also have some new prints ordered that I haven't packaged up or done anything cool with yet. So let's do that first, and then I'll think about, oh, I don't know if I've shown you these yet. These are the Lord of the Rings Christmas cards that I was talking about in a previous vlog. The prints have arrived, they look really cool. They come with envelopes and stuff like that. Just living in a box on the floor right now because obviously. But yeah, I need to think about how to package these up nicely. I'm going to sell them as individual cards like that, and I'm going to package them in little packs of 3 as well. And then stickers, pin badges. I'll find it easy to think of things as I start packing my actual suitcase. Okay, see, this is what I mean about the state of the floor. This is packaging. This is a massive order of pin badges that's arrived. That's grey board for packaging. This is a half-baked lino cut idea that I haven't done anything with yet. The Christmas cards, this box underneath is the tote bags. So yeah, I don't know. I really need to... Organising this room is one of those jobs that just doesn't get done because it's never urgent. It's oh, I have something that needs to be done by tomorrow. I need to go do that first. And jobs that are more like, let's reevaluate this room. They just, yeah, they don't happen. I don't know, things are often quieter in January. I might have a big organisation and think about furniture and stuff for this room then. Anyway, sidetracked. Let's, yeah, package prints. There's 3. Do another 5 dragons. Isn't this such a cute washi tape? It's Kiki delivery service. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's do Kiki's next. These ones are a in-person market exclusive, just because I can't sell them on Etsy, because Etsy is, you're not supposed to sell copyright stuff on Etsy at all, but there are certain things that they are super aggressive with the ban hammer over, and Studio Ghibli is one of those things. I have tried putting Studio Ghibli inspired things up on my Etsy shop before, and they've been immediately taken down and I've been threatened. So yeah, I can't risk. I've had a few people ask me if they can buy these online, and I just can't risk it, unfortunately, because they would take down my whole Etsy shop without warning. They do that apparently. So yeah, these are an in-person exclusive thing that I sell. I'm thinking maybe 6 of these. These are one that either doesn't sell at all or I sell loads of. I think it really depends on the like demographic of the market that I go to. If it's a lot of younger people, they're going to immediately guess like, ah, Kiki. But if it's older people, sometimes They're like, oh, a witch, I guess. And they don't sell as well. So we shall see. I gotta say, I have pretty high hopes for tomorrow. I hope it goes well. I get the feeling that, I mean, it might be in my head or it might just be we end up in our echo chambers on social media, don't we? But I'm getting the feeling that more and more people are trying to make an effort to shop small this year. I think everyone's getting sick of the massive corporations and the billionaires and stuff. And although, you know, I've been on Etsy for years and known lots of artists for years, and we've always all talked amongst ourselves about the importance of supporting small businesses and stuff, in recent years and months I'm starting to hear more people who aren't in that crowd, more just sort of normal people talking about actually, yeah, we need to support small businesses and we need to support smaller artists and stuff. So that's always really heartwarming to hear, and I'm hoping that shall be reflected in this Christmas's Etsy sales. Let's hope anyway. Sorry for the lighting, overhead lights had to go on. Let me show you some of the newer ones. This I've just had made, Little Red Riding Hood. I actually made the artwork years ago, absolutely ages ago, and I never did anything with it because I, at the time, was trying to build up my book cover design portfolio. So that's what this was. But I actually think it's cute as an artwork in its own right. I like the idea of using book cover art as a wall art print, especially because, yeah, I think it came out cute. So yes, I made some prints of that. I'll just take 2 with me tomorrow just to sort of gauge how well it's going to do. I've got a new stack of these Kamakura drawings made, so that's one. I'll maybe bring another 2, so I've got 3 of those. And the other new one that I have is my Dean Village drawing. Back in, I think it was like late August, I made a drawing on location video where I headed out to Dean Village and sat right here and sat and drew this scene on location. And yeah, I just made it into a little print. I think it came out cute. Okay, package those up as well. Okay, prints done. Pin badges next. These are the little pin backing cards. I just get them made as business cards. This is the box I've always, when I transport pins to and from markets, I've always put them in this box. I don't know why. It's just a habit I got into. I think this was originally like a whiskey gift box that Andy got. It says Legend Man Myth on it, whatever that means. But yeah, no, I just thought it was a convenient little box and got in the habit of using it, and now that's it. So these are the newer pins. A little set of cats. It's the same pin design, but 4 different colorways. So, got a little white cat with a red bow. That's a black cat. I've got a grey cat with a purple bow. And an orange cat with a blue bow. I don't know if I've shown you the new and improved red pandas either. I've had red panda pins for years, but I just updated them and made them a bit nicer. So that's enough backup of the pins all packed up. That's business cards in there. Stickers. I've actually got quite a few different sticker designs now. This is all of the ones I have currently. Should I bring all of each one? I don't know. Because I've recently gotten this sort of tiered display stand to put all my stickers in. So I need kind of a lot to fill it out so it doesn't look empty. So yeah, and then I can also display the cards in the top rack of that as well. Yeah, I'll just bring loads. I'll just bring all of them. Right, okay, bags packed. I'm bringing the new tote bags. This is the first outing. Yeah, hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. The train to Glasgow in the morning is 7:20, so hopefully you're gonna get a good night's sleep and be fresh as a daisy in the morning. Sit. High five. High five, yes. And spin. Yes. He's a good boy. Is that for me? Hello, good morning. It's the next day. So I think that was a pretty successful fair. It was really good. It was really busy. They just sent an email around after the fact saying that 900 people came through the doors, which is a really good attendance. I really got the vibe that people were doing their Christmas shopping. I was kind of overhearing conversations between customers along the lines of like, oh, you know, Joan would really like that, Barry would really like that. So I think, yeah, people were feeling spendy. It was good. So at this market, I brought along quite a lot of things that I haven't taken to markets before, so I wasn't sure how well they were going to do. And some of the things surprised me and some of the things didn't do very well. So the cat D&D stickers, they did really well. A lot of people liked them. I really liked that people got what they were straight away. I was kind of half expecting to need to talk to people like, oh, are you familiar with D&D? These are the character classes. But everyone who went up to them straight away immediately knew what they were. So that was really cool. The Lord of the Rings Christmas cards that I was really proud of. I thought they were really cool. I only sold one of those all day. So that's a bit of a shame, but I'm still happy with them. I'm still happy with how they came out and everything. But as I keep saying, I've got lots of Christmas markets over the next few weeks. So it might just have been that market. I might sell a few more of those over the next few weeks. Also the tote bags. I didn't sell any tote bags, which I thought was a shame because I thought they came out really cool. I really like how they looked. Maybe I need to think a bit more about how to present them in a prettier way. I don't know. But anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks for hanging out. It's been great having you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.